Well, those were the top 5 stories of the media tour, but the top story from Earnhardt Ganassi camp was landing free agent Jamie McMurray. And Jamie joins us in the hub. Welcome. Obviously, Jamie, you were a part of the show that we did last night, the earthquake relief special that was here on Speed for Haiti. What was the most impactful thing that you took away from that show last night? Well, I
don't think I will ever forget the footage that Bob Scott shot actually when the earthquake started, filming the girl on her face. I mean, when I laid down to go to sleep last night, I thought about everything that had happened through the day, and certainly that video footage is something I'll never forget.
Yeah, it was very moving for sure. Jamie, as we look towards 2010, you know, each of you drivers, as you line up with a new organization, you would think you'd have some renewed optimism. I mean, you were the first-class ride now with Earnhardt Ganassi Racing. You were with Chip before. How optimistic are you that you can turn this into success?
Well, Media Week, I always laugh because you go and you interview drivers, and of course everyone's going to say that they want to win races and they want to be in the chase, and that's why you're here. But certainly I'm glad to be back involved with Chip Ganassi and Felix Sabates, and Juan Pablo as a teammate. I mean, they did a really good job throughout last year and towards the end of last year, building the cars and having the setups they needed to put Juan in the chase and actually contend for the championship. So, I mean, obviously excited to be back there, and you know, the transition from Ganassi to Roush, that was tough. First off, Roush is such a big organization and just getting to know everybody. But coming back to Ganassi, I already know most of the employees, and most of those guys, you know, have wrapped their arms around me and told me that they're glad to have me back. So good sensation, good feeling coming back there, and excited to get down to Daytona and get started.
Well, we've got some more questions for you. Can you hang around for another segment?
Yes.
All right, Jamie McMurray hanging around. When we come back, we'll talk with Jamie about his new teammate and sharing a ride at Daytona, and later. And we welcome you back to NASCAR Race Hub. Rick Allen, Randy Pemberton being joined in the hub by Jamie McMurray. Jamie, we know that you're leaving Roush Racing, going over to Earnhardt Ganassi Racing. Tell us what piece of the puzzle was missing over there, in your opinion, and how will that change as you go over there?
Well, I don't know. If I would have known the missing piece, I would have fixed that in my 4 years I had. But certainly it was tough going over to Roush and being kind of the 5th guy when you walk in. You know, Matt and Greg and Carl had been there for a long time prior to me getting there, and it's hard. I mean, the relationships that those guys have developed with the engineers or just the employees of Roush. I mean, it's tough walking into a place like that. And I want to make sure that my time there wasn't like horrible by any means. I mean, I really enjoyed getting to drive for Jack Roush, and he's become a really good friend of mine, and we were able to win a few races. We just didn't have the success that we both expected. You know, I came so close to making the chase when I drove for Chip before, and then, you know, I thought the transition to Roush, you'd automatically just would make the chase every year. And honestly, I didn't come as close to making the chase there as what I did at Ganassi. So I think our expectations were really high there, and we weren't able to meet those.
Now at Earnhardt Ganassi, you've got a teammate in Juan Pablo Montoya. You mentioned that earlier. You guys are actually going to be testing tomorrow and Wednesday, I believe. Have you worked with Juan Pablo Montoya before?
Just at the 24-hour test we did. We went down and got to test for 2 days, and you know, I was excited to see that Juan came over and asked my opinion of what I thought about how the car was driving or what the car was doing. So I think Juan's going to be a really good teammate, and I think it's really important that we get to run that Rolex race before, because even though we're going to be on the same team at Earnhardt Ganassi, you know, you're still competing against each other. Or in the 24-hour race, if he wins, I win, and vice versa. So I think that's important for us to get to be on the same team and get to work together.
Jamie, the last month in the off-season, it's been all about the rules changing at Daytona, and then the whole season with the spoiler. Each manufacturer went to Texas, did a little testing, and I heard during single-car runs, cars get a little bit more free. I don't know what you've gleaned from what you've talked to those guys. What do we expect to see out of this new rule package?
Well, I'm excited for the spoiler because I think that it looks so much more like our old cars, and I don't know why. I saw the picture of the car tomorrow with the spoiler on it, and it just looks so much better than what in my opinion, of what the wing did. And I mean, I'm excited about that. They said the cars are a little looser getting in the corner, but they thought that they turned a little better off. So until we get 40 of them out there together and you feel all the dirty air and everything, I don't think we're going to know. But as far as the way the car looks, I like it a lot better.
Dixon, Montoya, Franchitti, McMurray. Do you feel any added pressure going into the Rolex 24 with such a star-studded lineup?
Yeah, I thought it was funny when I saw the roof of the car. I have the only American flag on the car. So, yeah, I mean, and those guys are all really good road racers. But, you know, my pace wasn't that bad when we went down and did the test. And the more time you get in the car, the better that will be. And that's a really fun race to get to run.
Yeah.
Every year that, you know, I woke up on the Sunday morning, you turn the TV on to see kind of what happened while you're asleep. So it's a lot of fun to know you're going to get to be a part of all that.
So how much sleep are you going to actually get?
I don't know. I got the schedule, and they had me in the car from like 9 to 11 and then getting back in the car at 5 a.m. And I remember being there before, getting in the car at 3 or 4 a.m. and literally sitting on pit road wall and seeing the car come in and not being awake yet and thinking, look, I really need to wake up right now.
Yeah.
Getting ready to get in that car. So it's a lot of fun, though, to go run that race.
You got to wake up no matter what. Yeah. Good luck in the 24 and also the whole season with EGR.
Yep. Thanks for having me on the show today, guys.
Jamie.
Thanks for joining us. Once again, Speed will bring you 16 hours of live high-def coverage of the 48th Rolex 24 at Daytona. We'll begin this coming Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern and pick up the action Sunday morning at 7 a.m. through to the finish.